Energy US niggas, Ethiopian kings, we bring things. Ooh. Energy US niggas, Ethiopian kings, we bring things. Them some lyrics I wrote back in 1994, maybe 1992. Yeah. Hey, yo. Get the Anchor app, y'all, so y'all can listen to your boy. For real. Y'all can get the raw, uncut news. Yeah. Get the Anchor app. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Peace. What up? What it do? What's happening? What's cracking? What's popping and what's shaking? This is Yasha Ben Israel, Tadario Terry Whitfield, for the Yasha Ben Israel, Tadario Terry Whitfield show. In this segment, I want to break down a clip, a small clip from the Ilan. What's that? The Ilania. What? How you pronounce her name? Ayanla show. From the On television station owned by Oprah Winfrey. I picked this because as I was watching it, I saw something interesting in there. I like to say peace out, word up to Alanya. She is one of the many different African Americans, females, okay, who is more a part of the solution than the problem, okay. And as I was looking at this segment, I'm going to do a breakdown of the segment. The segment, you can look it up, is on the On, look it up on the On channel. And the title of the segment is Fix My Life on TV. Ayanla Van Zant. Why these black men don't date black women. I repeat, the episode is Why These Black Men Don't Date Black Women. Why these black men don't date black women. That's why I'm making this episode number 3 in the secret relationship between the white man and the black woman against the black man, the Afro-Asiatic, African-American Israelite. It's a conspiracy, a confederacy. More than any of that, it is a curse. And if you understood who we were as a people, and if you understood where we've fallen from, and if you understood the scriptures, you'd have a better understanding of where I'm going. When I looked at the Alanya show, it talked about why these black men don't date black women. And the reason why these particular black men don't date black women, and as you will see further on in the clip, Alanya says that there are thousands and thousands of black men that feel just the way that you do. So she picked a handful of black men to be the mouthpieces for many black men that are upset with the black woman. That are upset with the black woman, yes. No longer want to date her. No longer want to marry her. No longer wants anything to do with her. It is because they have seen through the smoke. They have seen through the smog. They have seen through the smog. And they're able to see it clearly as if though they had night vision. Clearly. And what they see is the secret relationship between the white man and the black woman against the African American female. Let me blaze up this herb and let me proceed. Let's get this clip rolling here. All right. Now, y'all check this out.
Michelangelo.
Okay, nice
to meet you. I've been out with black women or approached black women, and before they even knew me, they said, how many kids you got? How many baby mamas you got? Dating outside my race, I haven't had no issues like that at all.
Okay, and you are?
This man says that before he meets the woman, pretty much, the first thing she wants to know is how many kids you got, how many baby mamas you got. Wow. Now, it is funny how this society empowers a woman with double standards. Now, God can't have double standards in the mind of the African American female. Now, this may be for other females as well, but this is not about them. We're talking about the African American female and the relationship she has with the white man against the black man. These black men, I'm telling you, they see this secret relationship and they no longer want anything to do with the black woman. This man said that the first thing that she said was, how many kids you got? How many baby mamas you got? Well, the reason why she said this is because she knows inherently our history. She knows that inherently that 70% of African American men are African Americans, period, across the board, are born in single parent households. Single parent households that are ran by the woman. And being that it was ran by the woman, who 9.5 and some times out of 10 is subjective and submissive to the white man and his society, raised up these children without a damn daddy. And these young black men raised without a daddy, raised without the God man, the alpha male, the man who was God, who God set over the child, his own seed, okay? God set this man over his own seed, but she knows that 70% of the African Americans, she knows that they was not privileged to have that. And being that these kids, namely the men, were born in a situation where there was no guidance, no direction, nobody to teach them how to be men. That inherently what they're able to do is perpetuate the same shit that they were bred to do. Because they need a strong man to break this bond, an alpha male. An alpha male ain't a man who run around here sleeping around with all these goddamn women. An alpha male is a strong man. A dominant, aggressive, and strong man. A man who understands masculinity and basks in it. That's what the alpha male is. A little bit different from a pimp because the alpha male, the pimp understands masculinity and moves in masculinity, but he in touch with his feminine side. That's why he looks so pretty. Get his hair done and his nails done. You dig? But the African American woman knows this. And she knows that this guy can only perpetuate without a dominant, strong man in the house. That he only can perpetuate that which the Europeans have inbred you to do. And that is just walk around here and fuck, have sex, copulate, however it's the best way that you can understand. Inherently, this woman understands that. She understands that the great majority of us has been raised in the same type of situation. Not understanding woo-hoo-hoo-hoo, the herb is good. Not understanding that even though we all were raised in America, and up under the same system, and up under the same government, in the same society, that all of us don't process trauma the same way. And she naturally assumes that because she understands the context in which we live, that she can shit test you. The problem with this guy was that he was not raised by men that taught him that that was a female shit test and how to endure past that, because she was just fishing for information. You know, she wants to know, you know, do you fit the stereotypical the typical stereotype of the African American man, doing the shit that he was bred to do, doing the shit that he was prophesied to do. And she don't like it. She don't like it because it was prophesied that this was going to happen. And that she and her female counterparts of our race played a part in molding and shaping that. She wants an alpha male, somebody who was able to stand up and rise up above that, to overstand all of that. Let's get to the next portion of the video.
I'm corporal. Numerous, and how many kids you got, how many baby mamas you got. Dating outside my race, I haven't had no issues like that at all.
Okay, and you are?
I'm Coral.
And he didn't have any issues like that dating outside of the race because the curse only exists within our race. You know, people outside of our race were not cursed by Ha'aba. You know, it was not prophesied, and it was not written and understood amongst them. Let's get to the next one. She's going to the next guy.
I've been practicing abstinence for 3 years. 3 years with no sex. I'm looking for someone that can respect my views on this, someone that can love me for me.
And you are?
He said he has been abstinent for quite some time. And that he is looking for someone who can respect his views and that can love him for him. Okay? What is not understood is the natural order of things amongst African American women. Because there was no alpha male, no Israelite alpha male, no Israelite strong man to teach them and to rear them up and to raise them in the proper way to think and to go. For the scripture says to raise up a child, whether it's male or female, in the way that it should go, that when it's older, it shall not depart from it. That being stated, these women don't know which way to go because they were bred to the contrary. They was bred to do otherwise. They was bred to go the way of the shaitan. They were bred to go the way of the adversary. Genetically. And this goes back to the slave breeding farms. Okay? Now on these breeding farms, all kind of crazy stuff went on. But this guy said he wants somebody to love him and to respect him for him. And at the slave breeding farms, we were bred to disregard love and respect. Okay? And the only way that you can get a woman to love and to respect you truthfully is that you have to be within the first 3 men to have had sex with her. And that's just the crux of the thing, because no whore was fit for marriage. The whore in Old Testament scriptures was considered a promiscuous woman, a woman who had committed fornication, one who had broken the laws of marriage. And every woman in Israel, for Israel, the sin in Israel to have sex before marriage. It was forbidden for every woman in Israel to be introduced into marriage as a virgin. Being that he has not gotten a virgin, that he may have been the 10th or the 20th or the 50th man to hit that, that woman can't respect him. She don't respect herself. That woman can't love him because she doesn't know how to love. For the capacity to love is pretty much harnessed in the soul of the woman who have not had 4, 5, 20, 50 men up in her. You can't be able to love somebody and not parabond with them. Women can't parabond with nobody. 70% of the divorces, man. Of 100% of all the divorces filed, 70% of them is filed by the woman. Which shows that she is not for you. And the black race, the black man has always had the spirit of God in him. It's the reason why the African American woman has the lowest marriage rate on the planet. Don't nobody want to marry her. People know her history. The only thing they see is free pussy, whore, slut, a good time. Don't nobody want to raise a family with her. Don't nobody want to go through the struggles of life with her. They just want to have a good time with her and let her ass go. Why? Because they see the secret relationship between her and the white man. The white man, that relationship go all the way back to where she learned how to not respect a man and how to not respect herself. To this day, she have not learned healing, thanks to Joyce DeGroy. She have not gained healing. She have not listened to Scheherazade Ali. She have not listened to Francis Krauss Welton. She have not listened to Pernell Ibsen when she wrote the book talking about the daughters of the slave trade. The daughters of the slave trade is where I got a lot of my information from in video 2. You know, talking about how the daughters of the trade, how the black women was bred to be the white man's bitch, to be the white man's whore. How she was bred to go against the black man. Okay? Let's proceed on to the next one.
Both. Yeah, I don't date black women now because of past experiences. They like to place that strong personality on you, and sometimes you just kind of, stay in a woman's place. So do you...
Wow, this guy said he don't like to date black women because they have such strong personality, and he feel like stay in a woman's place. Now, first thing when you hear that, you would say weak man. Well, the brother said that the woman has a strong personality, you should say strong woman. And he doesn't want that. He wants a feminine woman. You see? Black woman emasculates the black man. And the reason she's very masculine, she's very masculine because somewhere she went beyond the boundaries of sexual holiness. She went past number 2, went past number 3, went past number 5 and number 10. And I've always heard in the Christian church that every time a woman has sex, it's a different man that she encompasses, embodies the spirit of those men. And what has happened here, and I always teach through repetition, teach about microchimerism. When a man has sexual relationship with a woman, what this does is that when he ejaculates and ejects his semen inside of her, this semen stays there forever. Long after the woman died, they can go into the woman's body, go in her Godiva, find traces of that man's DNA. This is the reason why they can find out and tell whether you raped a woman or not. Because if you have sex with her, especially if you had ejaculated in her, if you had a good time, if you enjoyed her, if your semen got up in her, they can find out. Or if you force raped her, and there was some type of blood exchange between you and her, the scraping, and maybe her hair might have cut you a little something or whatever, maybe she shaves, whatever. If there's any type of blood contact, your DNA goes inside this woman and it never ever leaves. Long after a woman died, they could go in her Godiva and find that DNA still there. This is how they could tell whether somebody raped this woman or not. So what has happened is that this woman has these many spirits going on this side of her. And there's always, all of these men are always at constant competition inside her body for her soul. It's the spirit of these men, the DNA. Now, the actual physical composition of the man is long gone and moved on, but his DNA is still there, along with many other DNA of many other masculine men. And they are inside of her fighting for competition, fighting for dominance. And every new man that she comes across, she will compare them to him. You see? And if she doesn't know how to respect herself, she don't know how to respect these men, she don't know how to submit, she will never submit. You see, she'll never gain the true love of a man, because she won't gain the respect of a man. She must learn to respect a man because, above all, men translate respect as love. That and that we don't see your love. We see your love that you talk about. We see that as fake malarkey. We respect your love. And because you was taught to disrespect yourself and disrespect the black man, you understand, we don't want you no more. It's one of the reasons why the black man don't want a black woman. You know, because he's able to see that secret relationship, you know, that goes way back hundreds and hundreds of years. It was started by slavery and it was solidified by the feminist movement. Let me continue.
Yeah, I don't date black women now because of past experiences. They like to place that strong personality on you, and sometimes you just kind of, just like, you know, stay in a woman's place. So do you?
Oh, I think I just played that one. I think I was talking about the strong personality. Oh, she's talking about, okay, let me recap so I can go forward. We talked about the microchimerism and all of these spirits inside of her, all of these men spirits inside of her that dominates her and make her a quite masculine woman. You understand? And due to her training and breeding to emasculate the black man, she can't see power in him. She knew it was inbred that way, and it was mentally set out that way. The whole thing was cut out that way, you know. So we talk about the masculine woman, the over-emasculated woman. You know what I'm saying? Is a result of having too many sexual partners, you know, which all goes back to the secret relationship between slavery, white oppression, you know, white supremacy, the black woman and the white man against the black man.
Any idea why you're here?
We share some of the same
Opinions.
About?
Why are black women so angry?
Was your mother angry?
To a certain degree, yes. She had that anger inside of her, but she made sure that she didn't pass it on to me. I see how she handles that, and she gives off that vibe that I get from women here. But when it came to me and how she approached me and taught me about women, she said, don't deal with this.
That's interesting, because as a black mother,
Yeah.
my work was to help my son understand it so that he would know how to stand in it with a black woman.
Wow, hold on. There's a lot going on here. I might have to read. It was too much going on here. First off, a black woman, you know, the problem is that the brother was raised by black women who can't possibly understand masculinity, therefore they can't teach him masculinity. Let me recap here.
That she didn't pass it on to me. I see how she handles that, and she gives off that vibe that I get from women here. She had that anger inside of her, but she made sure.
Okay, they was talking about this anger, okay? This inherent anger goes back again to microchimerism, okay? Microchimerism, again, is the result of having been inseminated by too many sexual partners, okay? Because sex is not a tool for hedonism, okay? Sex is not a tool where you are to use strictly for hedonistic pleasure, you know, straight pleasure. You know, sex is a tool used to build love and families. And the Most High, after 3 strikes, you out. Okay? You done had your 3 strikes. And anything after that will be a whole bunch of hit and misses. Never really hit the mark. Never really hit the target. You understand? And this causes anger, madness, sadness. You know, it even all goes back to a whole bunch of the stuff that had taken place at the slave breeding farms and that has spilled over into the society of this very day. There's a lot of that stuff that has lingered over because there was no alpha male there, Israelite alpha male there of God to teach us the proper way in which we were supposed to go, which was supposed to be in line with the laws in HaTorah. You read Deuteronomy 28:28 again. We keep focusing upon this madness. The scripture said that they will be stricken with madness. And the females are stricken with this madness. You understand? And instead of taking it out on the oppressor, or instead of taking an objective look at this and taking accountability to where she messed up, she is putting the blame upon the black man. You understand what I'm saying? She would much rather put the blame upon the black man. And because the black man want to take accountability for her mistakes, you know, she is pretty much angry. You understand what I'm saying? Because the mistakes will not, they will go unaccounted for. And they will continue to exist and exist. And this causes anger in black women. I talk about how black women have been molested and raped and played around with by people in their families and stuff. You know, that stuff goes unaccounted for. You know, a woman wants to be married and she may have heard this type of message and wished that she could have had the chance and was raised right to be able to do right, but she can't because somebody came in there and perverted her, and touched her against her will and against her knowledge as a little kid, molested her. Yes, that will cause anger. You got this man telling you he loves you and he likes you, he want to be with you, and young boy even, because there was no daddy there to teach you how this thing was supposed to go. So, you know, no dowry paid, you know, nobody there to protect the virginity of the girl, and nobody to pay it to. You understand what I'm saying? And then the girl grows up and goes her own way. And terrible at picking the right men. You know, women have a curse at that. Women are cursed with that. They always pick the wrong guy. She messed around and picked the wrong guy. The guy sold her a whole bunch of sweet nothings and gave her virginity away and turned around and left her. And now she has no true love, you know, no true feelings, because the only true love that ever existed was really within herself, and she discovered it. Now she's hurt, heartbroken. She move on to the next man. And then she tries this thing again, and it happens again. Strike two, you know, 3 strikes you out. Goes on to man number 3, she tries it again. It doesn't work again. And after that, she moves on, and she moves on, and she moves on into a perpetual spirit in the realm of whoredom and sexual promiscuity. You know, backwards living. You know, the first person you sleep with is supposed to be the person you marry. And these women turn around and marry the last one. You understand? You know, they want to sit around and, you know, do all that they do and do all that they do and do all that they do. And then when they get tired, now they ready for marriage. Okay? That's the reason why these women are mad and upset. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's a result of the breaking of the commandments. Let me proceed.
That she didn't pass it on to me. I see how she handles that, and she gives off that vibe that I get from women here. But when it came to me and how she approached me and taught me about women, she said, don't deal with this.
He's talking about how his mom, it gave the same vibe that these women had, but when it came to him, she kind of told him a little bit different, you know. It goes back to what I tell people, you know. It's kind of like, you know, if a young man is raised with a single mama, okay, and he gets around 18, 19 years old, meet a nice young lady, fall in love with her or whatever, she likes him, you know, and start having sex or whatever, and they both young and sex is new to them, and they start to mold and form and like to each other. The young girl is going to want a place to have sex at. You know, she's ready to go. You know, the young boy ain't thinking about nothing like that. He'd rather keep doing it in the basement of mama's house when she ain't looking, or, you know, in the car or at the park or whatever the fuck. You know, that's what the boy, he don't really care. You know, he's just in it right now. The young girl is ready to have a place where she could be grown and play house. You remember playing house as a kid? All the young girls ready, always willing to play house. Couldn't wait to be grown, get grown and play house. So, in that case, the young man, the girl goes out and go get an apartment, and the young boy want to go move with her. If he was living with a single mom, the mom had this boy 18 years and she ready for him to go, and she would pretty much grant him the permission to go and her blessing. You understand? A man wouldn't handle that situation that way. You see what I'm saying? Because a man would not deal with that with his son. A man would tell his son, so look, son, you want to move out? How about me going to get you, help you get you a car, get you a job, help you put your first down payment on an apartment, and if you want any chicks to live with you, you have them come live with you. Don't you ever live with a woman and give a woman a power over your manhood like that, because the minute you try to stand up and be a man, she's going to put your ass out. The minute you try to stand up and be a man, she's going to put you out. So the bottom line is that a woman, I'm trying to show you the difference, that a woman dealings with her son would be quite different than the way that a man would deal with her son. And the way Alanya is giving these men advice is just like the brother said, it's an attempt to try to do, I see that same spirit in you, Mom, and I see that same spirit inside of you, Alanya, that's in the rest of the women. But what y'all doing, I recognize it as an attempt, but it's not sufficient because it's not teaching proper masculinity. You dig what I'm saying? So yeah, so we dealing with a few things in this video that caught my attention. And the reason why the woman is mad, because there's a lot of laws and commandments that has been broken, which have broken the chains of sin, and I mean that has broken the chains of wickedness, and allow wickedness to spill all over and out. You know what I'm saying? And wickedness hurts. You know what I mean? It feels good, but it's like candy, man. That shit tastes good, but it hurts. Like liquor, it feels good, but eventually it's gonna hurt. And that's what it's done. And she's feeling, the pains from the sins that appeared as good. Let's go forward.
Because as a black mother, my work was to help my son understand it so that he would know how to stand in it with a black mother. Why are you here?
My situation is a little bit different because I traveled a lot when I was a kid. Very talented, very gifted musically. So because of that, when I came back to my neighborhood, when I was dealing with certain black women, you're different. You talk funny. You dress funny. The music you listen to is funny. I don't like being because I had flip-flops on or I had a turtleneck, I'm gay. The problem I'm having is just because you're my culture and you're black, you don't get a pass. All the women in my...
Whoa. Because you're black and from my culture, you don't get a pass. Wow. What this brother's problem is that while he was young, okay, he was too busy fulfilling his purpose, like a lot of child prodigies are. They take life serious. A lot of child prodigies take life by the horns, especially musicians. That's the reason why you'll find a little kid that's 10 and 5 and 10 and 15 years old that can play that instrument better than the guy who's been playing that instrument 30 years. Twice the time that this person has even been on the planet. And then you find this young child prodigy because the child prodigy takes the bull by the horns. And a lot of times in doing that, they spend a lot of time practicing their instrument, fulfilling their purpose. They don't really have a whole bunch of time to be out there playing with the kids and this, that, and this, that. And a lot of times some grown person will get wind of that and start to capitalize on that, and this is the reason why this child, he probably was playing for a church or something, and some preacher heard him and probably played that organ, some preacher heard him, he's young, he's good, you know what I'm saying, and took that boy all around the country with him. Everywhere he went, he took him with him, paid him, threw him a couple dollars, made him happy, kept him encouraging him to play on that instrument. And by the time he come back to the hood, he want to meet these women. He spent all his life playing the instruments in the church, dressing like church people and or whatever, or I'm just giving a pretty much example of how this thing goes. And when she comes back, I have to say that because the church is really the only real place that African American men can go and practice their instrument to the magnitude in which this brother talking about. And I was one of those church musicians, so I understand how that goes. You spend my Uncle Thomas Whitfield, he spent all his life as a little boy, him and Billy Preston, you know what I'm saying? Little kid, child prodigies, spent their whole other kids outside playing, they in the room playing their instrument. Willingly. Wasn't nobody forcing them. I mean, but in doing that, they miss a lot of social time with the youth and their kids, and the ability to bond with the kids and grow with them and get to know them. So when the time he come back to the hood, don't nobody know this nigga. You know what I'm saying? He don't get a pass, And what it is that pass is basically he didn't get validation. Especially from the females. The females did not give him validation. I want to tell a story of me. I was a young boy, me, my boy Angelo, and another brother named Terry. So that's Terry, Angelo, and Terry. Terry Whitfield, Terry Johnson. I'm Terry Whitfield. I remember when we came to the hood, there was this young lady named Phyllis. She saw my boy Angelo, who had always been around, and always knew him. They knew the family, they knew everything about the guy. Little short, little cocky, little bow-legged guy. You know what I'm saying? And one day, Phyllis sat up there and talk about how cute Angelo was and how cute I was not. And then after a couple of years went by and I got to hanging around in the hood, then Terry Johnson joined the clique. You know what I'm saying? And I got to hang around with the hood and understand what was going on and start dressing a little more hip. You know what I'm saying? Start wearing my little silk shirts and, start keeping my hair with the perms in it like the pimps do. And I start becoming more hip and start hanging around, kept hanging around. And one day she did that thing again. She say, Angelo's cute. Terry, cute. Terry Johnson, you through, buddy. And what it is that, we didn't get the validation. Luckily for me, there was a time that I was able to get the validation. And I understood right then and there that was the whole thing there, that this brother didn't get the validation. And the thing about it is that he didn't need her fucking validation. He should understood, bitch, I'm the man, I am who I am, you can either like it or take it or leave it. Let's go to the next one.
Man, I got side cousins that made me feel weird about that.
How can anybody make you feel anything? You get to choose how you feel. You don't know that?
That's what she was saying. How can anybody make you feel anything? Hey man, just man up and be you, and the hell would anybody else think?
Your kids is a psychological instrument.
What does that have to do with today?
Now, with a black woman, I have this in my mind before I even talk to you. She's going to think I'm weird.
She's going to think that I am weird. And she didn't give you any validation. She don't know you. She don't, you got to know the nature of a woman, man. You understand what I'm saying? And the woman is the key to the society. You understand what I'm saying? The woman is the key to the society. She is like the gatekeeper, especially the black woman, to the white man's society. Even in the hood. If you ain't dressed like a hood nigga, talking that hood talk, walking that hood walk, don't nobody really see you, especially the woman. And she's looking for the most alpha in that. And a lot of that is due to the dysfunction of the mind. You understand? And no longer being able to have cognitive remembrance of them being Israel. You dig? It's all a part of the curse. Let us proceed to go forward.
That bothered me a lot.
When I went to junior high school, I got bussed from Ocean Hill, Brownsville to Flatbush, and they spit on me and called me a nigger. They spit on me. And I was 13. And these were adults, not the children. So my point is this, that don't have nothing to do with who I am today.
And that don't have nothing to do with what these men are talking about. See, women are good. When men are trying to express the problems with their masculinity because they're able to see through the fog. There's always a woman coming there to try, and she's trying her best. You know, of all of the women, Ilania being hired by Oprah Winfrey, I would suspect to be the bottom of the chain, but she's doing the best that she could do. She's not getting what she's getting from the struggle like the other women I've mentioned. Ilania is getting hers from a little bit of the struggle and a lot from school, white man's education. And what she is doing, while this brother is trying to become the man that the almighty powers of the universe have created in his image and likeness, she's trying to put him right back into the box of the society. You know, let me rewind that again and pay attention to what she said closely, y'all.
And I was 13. And these were Brownsville to Flatbush. And they spit on me and called me a nigger.
See, what she's doing is presenting a logical fallacy. And she should know better this. And this is why she is not as good as Frances Quelch, Welching, Joyce DeGroy, you know, Mrs. Ali, Scheherazade Ali, and Pernell Ibsen. You know, because those other ladies gave a more objective view. You know, her view is really subjective and is based upon her own experiences, her own learning, her own education, and not the experience of a man. You see, and this here works against the black man because it's again, it is an attempt to smack him and throw him back into the box because she's feeding him a bunch of objective bullshit. You see?
When I went to junior high school, I got...
It's a non sequitur because she talked about how when she went to junior high school, and what she's trying to do is juxtapose the validation. Okay? These brothers are talking about why they're not being validated by black women. And why it's because black women are seeking the validation of white men and his power structure and his society. She's not seeking the validation of you. Nor is she seeking to validate you. This is what she needs to be trying to teach these people. She needs to be telling these brothers the truth. And this is what makes her an enemy of you. Because she's too busy in bed with this white man seeking after pipe dreams, American pipe dreams. The American dream, no, the American pipe dream. Where between her and Whitey, the White House, white dog, white picket fence shit, Cinderella ass shit. Seeking validation. Seeking validation for the black woman. That's what these men are seeking. She talking some old crazy shit and trying to juxtapose the validation that these black men desire from the black woman. She trying to juxtapose that to the validation that she sought to fit into white society. This shit goes back to what I'm trying to tell you. And I'm finna rewind this again. Because she can't experience what it's like to want to seek the validation of a black woman. So she can't even tell a man how to get it. Only thing she can do is validation. Oh, you ain't get the validation from a black woman? Well, since she ain't never tried to seek the validation of a black woman or got the rejection of a black woman, she gonna try to talk about how she was rejected from her first love, which is the white man in his society, and how she went to his white schools and these white people walked up on her, spit on her. Nigger, how dare you try to seek a higher education and try to learn and know what we know and sit next to us and do what we do. How dare you try to use your hypergamous nature to live outside of your social class. She was rejected by white people. Now, Ayanya, do you want to sit up there and really compare, to juxtapose your rejection for your first love of the white man? You want to compare that to the black man's rejection of his love and desire for the black woman? Are you fucking serious? The black man is getting rejected by both the white man and the black woman. You don't feel his pain. You don't even fucking understand it. Let us proceed.
Bust from Ocean Hill, Brownsville to Flatbush, and they spit on me and called me a nigger. They spit on me, and I was 13, and these were adults, not the children. So my point is this: that don't have nothing to do with who I am today.
And you ain't got nothing to do with what they talking about.
What is your experience?
A lot of black women, they don't want to talk to me. Some of them don't want to talk to me. Some of them want to talk to me because, one, I'm a God-fearing man. I don't believe right now I'm practicing abstinence. I'm not having any sex whatsoever.
Why you ain't in the church?
I am in the church.
Whoa! The white man and the black woman has a secret relationship against the black man. Ayanya just showed you how, while you chasing after the black woman, how the black woman is constantly chasing after her place in this white man's life, in this white man's world, in this white man's bed, this white man's house, in this white man's dream, and in this white man's society. She's constantly trying to put you in it. Make you beta as fuck. Take away from your alpha masculinity. Make you subjective to this white man. Because this white man is never going to let you rule his society. He's never going to let you dominate in it. You're only going to be a fucking puppet in it until you die. You dig? This shit is crazy.
I don't believe right now practicing abstinence, having any sex whatsoever.
Why you ain't?
This man said that women don't want nothing to do with him because he's a God-fearing man. Remember, I told y'all that this whole thing is about the suppression, the enslavement, the emasculation, and the dethroning from power of the black alpha, lambda, aleph, lamet, alpha male. The black God Israelite alpha male. It is to crush you, destroy you, to belittle you, to berate you, to emasculate you. This is what it's all about. And surely, if you're talking about male masculinity or God, if any of this stuff ain't connected to no goddamn money, these women don't want nothing to do with you. Because the money is going to propel her to her place that she's, her hypergamous place, that her hypergamous nature propels her to shoot towards. Shoot for the moon and it's the stars. It's all right, as long as she's going in that direction. The white man's heaven is the black man's hell. Black labor, white wealth. Right? That's how it works. Let's go forward.
The church.
I am in the church. I'm going to tell you about the church woman. If you don't have a collar, they don't want to talk to you.
She asked him, well, why are you not in the church? He laughed at her. You know, he should have. Because you shouldn't have asked that. You shouldn't have asked, do you go to the church? or are you in the church? She just, out of her solipsistic nature, not being able to see outside of herself, looking at Alania's age and looking at the age of the man who's speaking. Alania is older, and when you would think of a church-going male, you think of a guy that has a shirt, a tie, clean cut, low haircut, maybe even shaven bald, clean shaven suit, that type of thing. This brother has on like a polo shirt, long fancy dreadlocks, and she looked at him and automatically couldn't see outside of her own solipsism, outside of her own subjective thinking. She couldn't see outside of her own feelings and her own experiences and her own knowledge. So therefore, within her knowledge, looking at him, she automatically assumed that he wasn't church going and asked him, why didn't he go to the church? And he started laughing. I do go to the church. The problem is that the women of the church are looking at the men with the collar. Now, listen to Alania's interesting response here.
I'm gonna be straight up.
What does do you know what the collar represents, though?
I guess it's purity, or leadership, or I don't know, a divine.
How about power? Yeah. How about power? That's what it represents.
Okay.
I'm out of here. That ends episode number 3. Power. Alania just told y'all. Y'all just heard the words of a woman's mouth. Why these women don't want to hear this brother? He talking about masculinity and he talking about God. It's because it's about power. Why she want the man with the cloth on? It's about power. She don't care about the God power, the knowledge, the wisdom. It's about how he's able to influence, how he's able to move, the money, all that, and how he fitted into this goddamn society, and the power that he has with whitey and the white man society. This is what makes the woman enemy to the black man. She's just about as much enemy to the black man as the white man himself. For if you go back in history, you'll see that they both were in bed with each other. You dig? They both were in bed with each other, and there is a secret relationship between the white man and the black man against the black man. This is Yasha Ben Israel for the Yasha Ben Israel Show, the Terry Tadario Whitfield Show, signing off. Stay tuned for segment episode number 4.